Hello everyone, welcome back to Unleashed. In this video for our C# we are going to learn the C# for maths or mathematics. So in C# we have a math class, and the math class has many methods that allow you to perform mathematical tasks on numbers. So we are going to start with some more classes. Let's iterate this. So now guys, a way to start with a method that can help you to find the highest value of between the two numbers. So let's do something like, let's do something like maths dot, for example, we're going to use this maths. It uses a capital letter. Math dot maximum. Let's use, for example, 10 and the 15. You see now guys, this is an example, but to display we have to start with console dot right line you see now the remaining thing is the semicolon. So now we can learn this. We are going to check the maximum number between 10 and 15. To see, we have a 15. 15 is greater than 10, you know that. So you can try yourself. You're going also to check the minimum. You have to use this console dot right line. Then here we use this function math dot minimum. You see now, you're going to check the minimum between 10 and 15. You see, the maximum is 15 and the minimum is 10. Let's add 5 and see. You see, you get the error. But let's try with this also. You see, you get the error. So it means it's not a 32 bit. So this has to be a 2. Now we are going to check or to write the method that returns the square root of any number. Let's do it. To return the square root of a number, use console dot right line. For example, math dot use this sqrt. Use this sqrt. Then, for example, let's use the 64. You see, we're going to find the square root of we are going to return. This helps us to return the square root. Math.sqrt help us to return the square. This method helps us to return the square root of 64. Let's run. You see, the square root of 8, the square root of 64 is 8. Let's use 128. Let's see. You see the square root? So, guys, this is the class. This is the class that has many methods. This math is a class that can have many methods. Can have maximum, minimum, square root. There are so many. We are also going to check we are going to use the method that return the absolute positive value of any number. Let's do its console dot write line so here we use the math dot apps. Let's use for example -6 dot 7, for example. So let's return. You see, it returns the positive number, not a negative number. So now we are going to write the method that return the rounds of number to the nearest whole number. Have it use console dot write line, then the method that you are going to use is the math dot round. So let's use 99. It's an example. You're going to see the result. You see, it gives 10. Let's use 98 and see what the result. It also gives 10. So this round it is for returning the nearest whole number. The nearest whole number without a float and anything else. So we are also going to write let's try like 95 and see. But remember, it's the nearest whole number. It's a 10. You see, guys? So now let's use 8 here and the line. See, it's 9. The possible number, which is the whole number, is 9 without floats. So guys, now we are going to learn more about strings. Let's remove this. So you can do the practice for yourself. So a string are used to storing text. Just string are used for storing text. A string variable contains a collection of characters surrounded by double quotes, as I told you in our previous video. So we are going to create a variable type with a string. Let's do it. String. Let's use a greeting, which is going to be equal to, as I told you, it is a string is surrounded by double quotes. So we're going to use double quotes. You see? Then good morning. It's an example. So to display this, we have to do console dot write line greeting, the variable name. You see good morning. So now you know a string variable can contain many words if you want. You can write you can type anything that are text. It's going to be displayed, you see. But this is a string. So now we are going to look for a string length. A string in C# is actually an object which contains properties and methods that can perform certain operation on string. For example, the string of a string can be found with the length property, as I showed you. Let me give you an example. Let's use string greeting. Let's use I, U, O, A, E, and use also A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Then we are going to find the string, the length. So have it write, for example, console.write line. Let me give you an example. The length of the greeting string is, show you where, is, use this. Here we have to use this plus sign, greeting dot this method dot length. You see now, guys. Then semicolon. Let's run this. You see the length of a string, the length of the greeting string is a 32. You see, it's returned the length of string. So now, other methods, there are many string methods available. For example, to convert a string in upper case to lower, for returning string converted to lowercase. Let me give you an example. Let's use the string txt equal to hello enlisted. This is an example. So we are going to convert this lowercase to uppercase. So let's use console dot write line text dot to upper. But there is something which are missing. We have to add this. You see now? You have to close with this brace. Let me run. You will see this. Let's make them all small, lower. Let's run. You see? Hello unleashed. The text which is in lowercase is converted to uppercase. We can also use lower, hello, and reached. Can you convert them to lower? Txt dot lower. You see, guys, now it is in lowercase. So now what you are going to see is a string concatenation. So a string concatenation is to join a string, just to combine them, to combine two different strings. Let me give you an example. Let's declare something string first name equal to unleashed string first name equal matrix. So now to join this, can you do string, or to concatenate them, string, combine them, string name, for example, as a variable equal first name plus last name. Then console.write this name. We are going to display this. You see, unleashed the matrix. So what you have to note that we have added a space on no, we have to add a space on unleashed to create a space between a first name and the last name. It is what you have to note. Let's do something like this and see what is going to happen. You see now it is an enriched matrix. But before it was like penned. But now we have to add the space here in order to read it well. Enriched matrix. So it is what you have to note. So you can also use the string concat method to concatenate to string. Let's do that. Can you also do string dot. Let's use this concat. This one concat first name and the last name. This method also works. Let's read the output. What is the issue? Let's run the methods again. String.concat first name, last name. But you see we have a comma here, not a plus. So let's run again. You see now enriched the matrix. So we can also use plus when we need it to concatenate a string. We can also use this comma. So guys, now what you're going to do, you're going to move with a string interpolation. So string interpolation, it is another option of a string concatenation. So string interpolation, it's for just it substitutes value of variables into placeholders in a string. So what you have to note, you do not have to worry about spaces like with the concatenation. Let's do something that, let's delete this. You see, for interpolation, what we do, we use this $, then can add something like my full name is then use these curly braces, first name, curly braces, last name. Then we can learn console.write line name. Let's run. My full name is enriched matrix. So guys, this is how we do with interpolation. So now Another thing that you have to note, you have to use this $sign when you use string interpol method. The string interpolation was introduced in C# version 6. You know that, if you are not new. So we are going to see how we can access strings. So you can access a string, you can access the character in a string by referring to its index number inside the square brace or bracket. Let me give you an example. Let's use something like, let's string, let's declare this string AB, which is going to be equal to good. Then let's do console dot write line. Here we need the AB let's return index of 0 for good. You see, we start with 0, G 0, 1, 2, 3. When you put here 3, you are going to get D. You see, guys, when you put here 1, you're going to get O. So now you can try this with yourself. So with the index, for when you are counting indexes, string indexes start with 0 as a first character and 1 as a second character, plus or etc. So you have seen that 0, 1, 2, 3. When I put here 3, you got D. Indexes start with 0. When you put here 0, we are going to get G. When you put 1, you are going to get this. So now what you are going to look for now, you are going to deal with special characters in C#. So special characters, because the string must be written within a quote, C# will misunderstand the string and generate the error for special characters. Let me give you an example. When you do something like string AB, it's going to be, let's say we are called and you add something like this. Programmers. From the wow. You see, the C# it is unexpected. The name of programmers does not exist in a current context. So the solution to avoid this problem is to use the / escape character. The / escape character turns the special character into string. So to solve this, what you do, you have to put here, sorry, the backslash. Now you see, but where I'm putting this, it is not where I'm supposed to put it. You have to put inside of this. You see now, when we run, you see, let's remove this. We are called the programmers from the world. So the sequence backslash insert a single quote. For example, can you also use this? There is no problem. So guys, this is how maths and a string, maths class and a string are. So in our series of C#, now we are going to cover Booleans in a C#. So Booleans in a C# is very often. In a programming, you will need a data type that can only have one of two values, like yes or no, true or false, on or off. So for this Boolean data type, you can take a value true or false. To declare a Boolean, we use the bool keyword. Let's start by practice. We use this keyword bool. Then we continue with the variable name. Is unreached YouTube channel. We use true because it's a YouTube channel. Use this true, not in a capital letter. So bool as a keyword is for example, is a matrix civil engineer no, which is false. Use this small red. So to display it, we do console dot right line is an enriched YouTube channel. Console dot right line matrix civil engineer. So let's run. You see, we have a true. Is an unreached YouTube channel? True. Is a matrix civil engineer? False. So, however, it is common to return a Boolean values from a Boolean expression for conditional testing. So, Boolean expression return a Boolean value true or false by comparing variable or values. So this is useful to build the logic and find the answers. For example, you can use a comparison operator such as greater than operator to find out if an expression or variable is a true. Let me give you an example. Int x equal 11 and int y, for example, equal to, let's use 10, no problem. So the way to use console.write, let's use x is greater than y. So this is going to return a true because 11 is greater than 10. Let me run it. You see, true. As I told you, you can use a comparison operator such as a greater than or less than operator to find out if expression or variable is a true. This is why it is returning a true. You can try it yourself. So you can also use equal to evaluate an expression. Let's do example. Int z equal 12, for example. Sorry, it's an error. So console.write line can do z equal 12. So it is going to return a true because the value of x preto z is equal to 12. You see? Let's put 17 and you see what is going to happen. It is false because value of z is equal to 12, not 17. So guys, let me give you a real life example. Let's think of a real life example where we need to find out if a person is old enough to vote. Int my age, for example, which is equal to 35. And int voting age, which is equal to 18. Yes. So console.write line my age is greater than or equal voting age, you get true. You see guys? So now hello guys, so we are going to continue with after Booleans, let's continue with condition and if statement. So you already know that C# supports familiar comparison conditions for mathematical such as greater than, less than or equal, less than, greater than or equal, not equal. So you can use this condition to perform on different actions for different decisions. C# has different conditional statement. You can use you're going to start with if. Let's do something like this. Let's do comment. So let's start with if condition. So if you can use if to specify a block of code to be executed if you specify the condition is a true. So the syntax of if, we do something like if, then condition. After this, we use the curly brace. Then you can write block of code to be executed here. So if a condition is a true, so we can also have else. So use else to specify a block of code to be executed if the same condition is false. So you can use else also, then do something like open the braces. So it is for to specify a block of code to be executed. The same condition is false. So we also have a else if. So use else if to specify a new condition to test. If the first condition is false, else if, and you also have a switch. So switch, use the switch to specify many alternative blocks of code to be executed. So let's start with the if statement. We are going to start with the if statement. Let's delete all those codes that are written here. We are going to start with the if. For example, if, then condition, you see, you write their condition. For example, 25 is greater than 20. Then we open a curly brace. Sorry. We have it right here. What we have it to display or block of code to be executed if the condition is true. So use the console dot write line (25) is greater than 20. Then semicolon. So let it try to display. Let's try to run. You see, 25 is greater than 20. So we can also test the variables. So for example, let's use int. Let's put it here, no problem. Int, for example, x equal 20. Int y equal for example 25. Then if, for example, x greater than y, right, x is greater than y. Let's see the output. You see nothing because it is false. But if here we have it on set 9, it is going to display something because it is true. X is greater than y. See. So you can try this yourself. We are going to move on else. So use the else statement to specify a block of code to be executed if the condition is a false. So you see this if condition. Then we can add here else. Answer.writeLine. This is where the condition have to be executed if something is false. X is not greater than y, but you still need something here and here. Make them a string. Then you need to close this. So guys, as you see, let's run. Let's make changes. Let's put here 30 because x is not greater than y. This statement is going to be executed because you know we use else to specify a block of code to be executed if the condition is false, and you see this is a false. You see now x is not greater than y. But now what you're going to do is to move with else if statement. So for else if statement, use the else if statement to specify a new condition if the first condition is false. So let me give you an example. Let's delete this. So let you, for example, use int time, for example, equal 22. Then if time is less than 10, console.writeLine. Let's use good morning. Yeah, the condition is true. So you're going to use else if. You know, use else if to execute block of code if condition is false and for the first, and the condition for the second is true. So if the time, if the time greater than or equal to 20, console.write line, put the, for example, then is where the condition is not true. There is console.write good evening. Write a line. Good evening. You see? Guys, now we are going to continue the switch case in the next video. Thank you.